Well, we talked about the Genius Act. So this is something that we need to dive deeper into, but it's based on stablecoins, and we're trying to wrap our minds on what that means. Like ultimately, like regulating stablecoins. Does that mean that companies are going to be issuing their own stablecoin, or is it going to be through a few entities who get regulatory approval? Like, how is it going to work?
Yeah, the government, or this current administration, whatever actors involved, are doing a really good job of pressuring these governmental bodies to actually put together sensible frameworks and like new definitions and such. Like, if you look into this stuff, a lot of it makes a lot of sense, and it definitely leaves a little bit of a scope of opportunity for more innovation, and not so much like, I don't know, burden requirements. And it lifts a lot of the SEC's jurisdiction away from a lot of things, specifically around DeFi and stablecoins, which is a big deal because I think at some point all of this eventually is going to link into DeFi some way.
Yeah. Also, part of the Genius Act is a little bit of limitation on taxes on some of these tokens. So I think if you do a transaction that's under $600, you don't have to pay short-term capital gains on that. So that's just to encourage people using the actual blockchain to trade, buy some assets.
Yeah, so this is the bull thesis around Ethereum, right? If there's a company out there saying they're raising capital, which the capital we're talking about here is fiat, which is, it has the same macro narrative as Bitcoin treasury companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like convert a bleeding treasury management model into a much more like nurtured model, which is securing an asset like a Bitcoin that has that historical outperformance, right?
Yep.
Therefore strengthening the prospects of a company in general. So can you do the same thing with Ethereum? It's a little bit harder to justify, but when you add in the idea of stable coins, it kind of makes that much more viable.